Hi there, this is Billy Earl, and we are on Eastern Shore Politics. We have a guest today who I'm very proud to call my council representative in city government, SHARON DASHIELL. SHARON, thank you so much for coming by.
You're very welcome.
We're going to talk a little bit about things going on in the city, and especially as they relate to you. But let's start with PAC 14.
Okay.
PAC 14 is has a board of directors and there is a person from the city who sits on that board. SHARON is that person. So who knows? She may know more about PAC 14 than I do. I am just a lowly local producer, but we try to stay connected to our electeds because we realize the profound effect that they have on our lives and on our shows and on the thinking that people have about their community. And thank goodness we have such good electeds, SHARON being one of the leaders in this here in the city. When you first started sitting on the board of trustees for PAC 14, I guess it was probably like entering a strange world, wasn't it?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me on this show again, because I did not realize when I ran for city council that I would be assigned particular extra commitments to community projects or community boards, that type of thing. And PAC 14 is one of them. And I knew nothing about PAC 14 really, except if I watched it here and there. And the other two that I was assigned to as well, I have three that I'm responsible for attending their meetings and reporting back. I usually report back during my comments with city council meetings. And PAC 14 just blew me away because of everything they are doing with 4 employees.
Yeah.
And it serves so many organizations in the community. I mean, over 100 organizations, and they show up for everything. I mean, July 4th, whether it's inside, outside, they're there, and they report back, and it's accessible to all of you on YouTube. And they're now getting into the drone business, being certified for that. And you can watch everything on Roku.
Yeah.
All right, and that to me is, reaches so many more people that want to know what's going on. But you, as an individual watching this, can come to PAC 14 and produce a program. Yeah. Just like you do.
That's it.
So they will help you. You're not, just kind of there on your own. They will help you produce, as you know, which I'm sure you can elaborate on. And the shows range from gardening to education to politics to FYIs, things that I didn't even realize were on this, available to us through PAC 14. Yeah. And it's all about, as the director, Tom Taylor says, he is all about making sure people can use the medium of television to their advantage to benefit everyone. Right. And everyone gets to participate in a different way, or everybody has something to contribute.
They do.
And PAC 14 gives them the vehicle to do so.
Well, Tom is a terrific leader in this, and all of us owe him a debt of gratitude because he works long and hard to make PAC 14 a reliable and a creditable member of the community. And Tom, well done. Well done. So there you are. You're coming in. I have not ever been to a Board of Trustees meeting, but I sit on some other boards of nonprofits, and so I suspect there's probably a similarity. I know that there was a movement here at the station some time ago to let's see, what would be the right word? It would be to ask the FCC to grant a license for this so that people with rabbit ears could get it. Now, I don't actually know where that is, but I do know that FCC lawyers are very pricey. and we're not rolling in money here, but I think that is still continuing. What topics are you all looking at these days?
Well, the hit parade, the top of the hit parade is the 25th anniversary celebration.
Oh, yeah.
But wait, it's on the 25th of January in 2025, and it's the 25th celebration. So we want everybody to put that on their calendar.
Perfect timing.
On their calendar, because let me just give you, if I may, Billy, just if the annual report is accessible online, and one thing here, if you can imagine, they had 479 community events on their calendar last year.
That's a lot.
So that's an awful lot.
Yeah.
And so they're doing a wonderful job, and we just want you to go look at the year in review and just go down the list of everything they offer to this community. We couldn't do a lot of things without them.
Yeah. It is. I think that's absolutely true. The level of activity here really is quite interesting and consistent. Most of my work is to be here in the studio or out in the field creating content, and then but for the grace of God, I'm not really that technical a person, so I have to rely on Tom all the time when I'm cutting the film and editing. We had a little thing this morning. I couldn't get a piece of film to go into the platform that we use, and Tom knew exactly what the issue was, and so we thank him again, for and Xavier too, and Chris too, and especially Jen, because Jen is the one that really keeps everything together here. So here we are at PAC 14, celebrating 25 years, and as we go into the future, what I'm hoping is that we have increased on a somewhat regular basis these kind of discussions with our local electeds, because much of what you're doing, the general public may not completely understand, and this is a great place to explain it, in just garden variety English.
Right, exactly. And just the awareness.
That,
the extensive projects and what they actually offer free of charge.
Yeah.
To learn a whole new job by definition.
That's pretty much what it is.
Producing shows.
Yeah, and it takes a while to do that. Or at least it did with me. Now, people like Chris Damone and people like Xavier, have a great, I would say, reservoir of experience in doing this. And not only on the platform that we use, which is Final Cut Pro 10, but on other platforms. So I'm constantly amazed at the quality of their work. And yeah, you would think that there were 20 people working here, with the content that's created. But it's, these 4 people are, they did just do a bang-up job. And again, thank you for doing that.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Tell me more about the way that the Board of Trustees works when they're examining what we do and how we do it. And I guess part of it is financial, part of it is probably content related, isn't it?
I find, having been on this board not quite a year, and we don't meet every month, but most months, it's a very inclusive board, and by that I mean every type of programming that you could have out there. There is somebody that would be represented on the board, and by that I mean anything relating to Salisbury University.
Right.
There's somebody on the board that is the representative from Salisbury University. We have people that are also in the community that are interested in funding, helping fund this, donations, things like that, and those people have so anybody on the board has the ability to give their input and suggestions. Okay. And my reaction, I guess, initially, besides being overwhelmed with what they accomplish, is the fact that they're so open to what's new. And some of the things they discuss, I'm just like, oh my gosh, not a clue. But they're constantly trying to tweak, constantly trying to keep up. And they're bringing in kids, too.
Yeah.
It's not just for somebody who is established in the community and wants to share what they want to let the people know about, but they're kids, and there are all kinds of challenges, and it's a wonderful, wonderful experience. When you have 180 studio reservations in 1 year.
Yeah.
That speaks volumes.
That's a lot.
That speaks
That
volumes.
is a lot.
It speaks volumes.
And it serves the purpose of illuminating certain issues that the general public wants to know, and sometimes they're not quite sure how to get that data. So it serves a wonderful, wonderful purpose. Tell me what else you're doing in your busy schedule.
It's been fun, quite frankly. It's been fun because I serve on the airport commission as well, the Salisbury-Wicomico Airport Commission.
Oh, yeah.
And again, I mean, what has really impressed me is the three different, committees, commissions, board of directors that I serve on. All three are very different. I personally knew next to nothing about any of them.
Right.
So that's why I asked you, could I please come on and share, because it's an awareness that I think everybody should know about.
I think they should. And
the Salisbury Airport Commission, there are two things that they have really, unbeknownst to me, they have to do a strategic plan, a 4-year strategic plan. And that involves a lot of self-evaluation, community input. And again, their board has the stakeholders from anything that impacts the airport, just like PAC 14. And so when they start talking about a strategic plan, that involves they look at their pluses, their minuses, whether it's internal or external. And then they have priorities. And of the 10 top priorities in their strategic plan, I'm thrilled and really happy for them that 2 of them, and the 2 big ones, 3 probably, 2 definitely, they are doing right now. So they've come to fruition, and you will see the results of that. One, you're aware of the extension of the runway, and by 1,200 feet. That you think, okay, who cares? You know, we have a runway. Why do we need a longer runway?
Well, I am very aware of it because my wife and I, whenever we go back to Texas for holidays, we always fly out of SBY, and we fly on American. So this is theoretically going to provide a larger plane.
Exactly.
Which is great because a lot of people get jumpy, you know, when they're on a smaller plane and there's a little bit of friction.
Right. Larger planes means more people.
Yeah.
So then there is more of a dependency, we're hoping, on the Salisbury Regional Airport, as opposed to just, it's out there. And they're working on signage, which is always a plus. But the extension of the airport, that they'll break ground in January, and they hope to have it finished in a year, hopefully a year and 18 months. So, and
great airport.
Then that ties into having another, as you will, I'm going to give a plug for the Independent. This is my homework. I brought the things with you to share. It's slated, they're launching a new air service to Orlando.
Oh, great idea.
And so that gives more people, and as of, I guess, this fall, they have been moving more passengers than they had. Everyone was hit by COVID.
Yeah.
It did not, eliminate airports from being hit either.
Did not.
So it's picking back up, and they got an $800,000 grant to help pursue that with marketing and making connections, and they will announce the airline that will be coming in. But again, you have that something else that was on their strategic plan that they are actively pursuing and being successful with. The other piece of the strategic plan that is a huge, huge plus is and I'm going to give you the acronym for it so that you know exactly what it is when you hear about the AMT school.
Yep.
All right. And it's the Aviation Science Department. It's a 12-month program that is collaborating with UMES.
Excellent.
So they're hoping phase 5 of getting all the papers signed, 1 signature is left, to be certified to open the school in January.
Excellent.
So that's really soon. And 25 students. And the collaboration between the state and the county and the city and SWED, and I mean, it's just been, and Piedmont, obviously, as well. And with that in place, you have these, you really, anybody out there, see if you can get a tour because it's worth going to see what they've done. And they have the planes in there and the students, the ones we met, some of the, students hoping to start. And they can transfer once they finish this 12-month program here.
Okay.
They can then transfer their hours that they've completed towards a 4-year degree at UMES.
Wow. Nice.
So they're certified,
Yeah.
which is a huge, huge deal to
Yeah.
have that happen when you get the certification from the FAA.
Got it.
So that's, And then one other thing, the ARFF. If I have learned nothing else when I've taken this on, this gives education. I mean, they're like down the bottom of the list for acronyms. Because, the couple that I'm on have a whole bunch.
Yeah.
But the ARFF.
Okay.
All right. And that is your Aircraft Rescue Fire Fighters.
Okay.
And they have been making, they've sourced this out in the past. And what they're trying to do now is make it more in-house. So somebody is there all the time. And they have hired somebody to lead that.
Okay.
And he has extensive experience with the fire departments
Yeah, that's what
locally
they need,
and out
yeah.
of the county, right? So it's not somebody waiting for something to happen. You have employees that are already in positions that are getting trained, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Yeah.
So those are 3 huge pieces on their top priorities, in addition to, if you've flown out of the airport recently, the infrastructure, making changes as far as inside the airport.
A month ago.
Upgrading. Automated parking is one of their other pieces they're looking for. And you have, they have a maintenance building for their employees now, which they didn't really have before. There will be other upgrades. Security is another thing that everyone worries about.
Yeah, it
so
is.
they're upgrading the security. So they've got some wonderful things going on. They really do.
A lot of moving pieces,
Right,
aren't there?
exactly. A lot. But they're all coming together.
Now, is it too early for the nosy people like myself to wonder who the carrier that they're looking to add could be?
I can honestly say I don't know because Tony's doing a great job of trying to set up lots of meetings and work through all the entire process that you have to go through.
Got to be super complicated.
It is. It really is. So that's, no, I have no idea. And I would tell you if I were allowed, but I don't even know.
Back in Texas, there's been warfare between Southwestern and American for many, many years over places just like this. Mm-hmm. I don't know that the Southwestern would be a perfect fit because I don't really know the parameters of all this. But I hope that whoever the new carrier is adds the value that everybody assumes arguendo that they will.
Mm-hmm. Well, to me, the advantage is that when you have Piedmont here, and they have a really wonderful working relationship with Piedmont, and Piedmont would be a great resource for input and feedback.
Sure would.
So again, I think it's definitely it's wonderful growth and a focus.
Okay.
Focus for everybody.
Excellent. Okay, let's talk about planning. Let's talk about MPO. This may be a subject that the general public is far less aware of, but it has the possibility for tremendous effect on the population. Now you've been there for roughly a year.
That's all right.
What are you guys covering?
MPO is the acronym for Metropolitan Planning Organization. It actually covers Salisbury and Wycomico and goes into Delaware.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's been established. Their whole purpose, they're staffed by Wycomico County Department of Planning and Zoning.
Oh, okay.
And they are basically, their whole purpose, which is extremely overwhelming when you think about what has to come into play when you are looking at any project from the ground up.
Okay.
So what they do, they oversee the federal designated MPO boundary, which takes us into Delaware. And again, I mean, the people on this community development organization are represented. You have Delaware representatives, you have Shore Transit represented
Okay.
on here, and you have county, city, you have all the stakeholders again. And what they do is they conduct any studies that have to deal with transportation.
Really?
So imagine.
That's a broad mandate.
Exactly. And they do it for member jurisdictions.
Okay.
So we can go to them and we get their input and their actual research, the knowledge. It's not something, I think I'll go ahead and do
Right.
this. It's based on facts, it's based on research, it's based on anything that they have access to when they are presenting the municipality with suggestions for future development.
Okay.
And it's information, whether they may give you cost estimates. If they're not sure, they will bring in consultants to help. So you get an entire package. You get the graphs, you get the recommendations, you get the biggest thing. I think that it's really informational, and it's important to know that their whole premise is coming from a safety perspective.
Okay.
And it's not just for vehicles. It's safety when it comes to pedestrians, for bikes, for cars, for freight. It covers the entire range that you will have in
Interesting.
transportation. And add to that the connectivity. So if you're talking about connecting something from Delmar, Maryland through into Delmar, Delaware, whether it be bike paths, pedestrian paths, or safety issues with transportation, that will also, the connectivity can be another piece of this.
Okay.
Recommendations
Okay, that makes
for
sense.
crosswalks, for primarily, stop signs, crosswalks, the way the traffic comes and goes, and the way to efficiently move the goods and services for people. It's a really good check and balance.
This is
basically.
completely off topic, but I had another instance today. It amazes me that in our little town we have several of the roundabouts. How many people stop and then wait? And then, they do this, you go. It doesn't work like that.
I know.
And it doesn't come with any instructions.
I know.
But I think it's probably a better system than we had before. Of course, the people coming from Riverside Drive, coming down there and then having all the traffic at rush hour here, they may not agree with that. But, it was a solution that was formulated, I think, to try and solve a myriad of problems. And I do like the obliques that, is right in the middle of there. But is this the kind of thing, do you all talk about educational issues with, for instance, how to use a piece of structure like that? How to use?
Not that I'm aware of. That would be a really good piece to add to that. I think they probably, and I can't speak for them except just my opinion, that they probably leave that up to the municipality.
Probably.
To handle that,
Yeah.
how that actually is executed.
Okay.
And, feeding into roundabouts and that type of thing that people may not be aware of.
Okay.
And you've poked the bear when you mention Carroll Street, but
Yeah.
other than that,
Yeah. Well,
But I'm not. I'm going to defend the Metropolitan because I was not on the city council. They would just do the traffic pattern. They would not be setting up how you would organize a street.
right.
Is my understanding.
Okay.
So they're off the hook for Carroll Street.
Gotcha. Well, you guys have got a bunch of things coming up on the city council. Is there one that is of any particular interest to the people in the audience, you think?
I think probably what people need to I'm just asking you to be informed. Try to do your homework.
Yeah.
It's no different from an election, quite frankly, that we've just had. Just be informed.
Yeah.
And if you have feelings about the density, which everyone is aware of, the parking lot situation, the commercial area designated downtown, The same kind of thing here, whether it be traffic flow or businesses, because the businesses downtown need support.
Yes.
The Women's Alliance is really active and doing a really nice job trying to promote things downtown. So it's, I guess, just get involved.
Yeah.
That should be your driving force. You don't have to commit to anything, but just be informed.
Well, it's interesting, one of the things that years in politics has taught me is that, we pay a lot of attention to our national politics, and we pay far less to our local. But our local politics has so much more impact on our lives many times than the big picture,
Right.
from Washington, D.C. And I think we've got, a great group of people who are on the council here. And I think the mayor's doing a fine job. And I think that if people were to spend some time doing exactly what you're talking about, and that's become aware and become knowledgeable, and just do a little bit of homework, could help, could very well help.
Well, it doesn't hurt you don't have to agree.
No.
Which I said before.
Yeah.
I think people should really adopt the feeling that you don't have to agree with me, but we can still get along. If you don't agree
Yes.
with me, it doesn't mean I'm right or you're right or I'm wrong or you're wrong. It's just a matter of let's see how we can come up with the best solution.
And we don't want decisions like that being made in a vacuum of facts.
True.
We don't want that. The issues I think that most people are looking at down here also have to do with our flooding. And I know that the city is all over that, and they're trying to find answers to it. I've got a friend who has a restaurant here, and he has problems with his parking because the water comes up out of the river. I don't know how we're going to solve that, because a lot of it are things that we really can't control.
Well, the other thing is, I think that, again, getting information. We get information from the EPA. We get information from the flood. I'm trying to think of the organization that follows, and I should know the different flood zones and how that impacts whatever's going on. And think in terms of down the road.
Yeah.
What do we want this city, or wherever you live, what do you expect, or what do you want it to look like so that it's thriving? And you also have people coming to support the city, wherever any part of the city. Yeah. And, sometimes that's really hard when you're looking at something immediate, and how will that impact your life, my children's lives, anything in the future.
Got it.
The economy.
Yeah.
Just there's so many things that come into play. It's not just let's just do this, move on, and okay, then we'll fix it later. Let's get it right the first time.
Got it. Well, we are very fortunate. I know in my district we're very fortunate to have you as our representative, and we're very fortunate to have people who have integrity and have knowledge and have a desire to make our town better in every possible way that they can. Sharon, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you.
These sort of sessions, I'm hoping I could cajole you into coming on every 60 days or so, or more often, because the more people hear, the more education they get, the better decisions they can make. And that's what we want them to do. Anyway, this is Billy Earl with our guest today, SHARON DASHIELL, on Eastern Shore Politics. Have a great day. Namaste. See you on down the road, partner.